So here is my winter sow stuff that is left. My rice, I think it might have actually frozen. I'm not sure. It was really hot one day too, and it was after that I noticed it was dead, but it could have been the freeze like a couple days after that too. Some of this stuff I haven't really kept track of very good, so it kind of just either survived or didn't, one or the other. The containers that I had the paper pots in just didn't, I would not advise doing that again. I redid them. Whoopsies, I see one in there that needs to be poked a hole better. Swimming in water. But I went ahead and transplanted those into cups, and then I put the containers together, and I drilled little holes and zip tied them so I can flip open the lid and look at them or whatever if I need to, and then there's enough head space here that they don't run into the top of the container, which was the problem I was having. Those work really, really well, but they're very expensive. I think they're like, by the time you buy 2 containers, they're like $8. So, you know, pretty quickly you're going to be able to just buy a greenhouse. Although I believe this method does work almost better than a greenhouse because there's less care and the plants are already hardened off, but I may be crazy there too. The milk jugs are still my favorite by a long shot. See this pumpkin? That is a pumpkin plant, and it's not even going to focus because it's so big you can't even see it. This is cantaloupe, I believe. Anyway, it's all doing really well. There's some scarlet sage. What do you have, Shiny? Aw, chickie.
Yeah.
And then this is tomatoes, I believe, of some kind. A whole bunch of them. And herbs growing really well. There appears to be a weed in that one. Coreopsis. Here's my hearts of gold. If you remember, I had those in that. And it was going to freeze, and the things that were in those were, for one thing, they were not doing well, and for another, they were wanting to freeze. So I went ahead and took them out of there and put them in a jug, transplanted them into a jug, and now they're doing super, super well. Some more, those are flowers, and then these are the leeks. I transplanted them there, and they're doing really well. I don't have them covered or anything. It's not that cold. And they've been doing really well. They've grown, actually, since I put them in the tray. Here's the McDonald's cup. The lid is off of it now, but there's nothing showing. But I just watered it today, and before I watered it, there was actually a little green, like, elbow peeking out of the ground. So I guess it's actually going to grow. It would not be a wise container to use, though, if it was in the very cold. There's some... Look at those tomatoes. It seems like the plants, the tomatoes that started out in the jugs and stayed there, did the best. For the goji berries, and I have a stick in there, but these are the goji berries. They're doing really, really well. I'm really happy with those. I have the stick in there because of the seed packet. These are Roma tomatoes. But yeah, everything is doing really well. And then I planted out probably a good, let me just say off the top of my head, 12 to 15 containers at least, and then there were a few that died. I did have some that froze. I actually had some that cooked in the heat because it was too hot here and then they cooked. So I moved them to the shade to get afternoon shade, and then I had them freeze. So I moved them to the back of the house where they get protection from the house. They get morning sun till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then they get afternoon shade. And this has been the best spot ever, because the concrete gets warm, and they just stay nice and toasty. And if it gets too warm or too hot during the day, by the time the blazing sun should hit them, they're behind the house. So it's worked out really good, and these have been, I can see a marked difference since I moved them here. Less loss, much less casualty. So, yeah, pretty happy about that.